It's an exciting time today to celebrate this. I wouldn't call it a grand opening because the grand part has yet to happen, and that's when this corridor gets revitalized and business is flourishing like it used to before, even better. But before we begin, we would like to mention a few names of elected and appointed representatives who are with us here in the audience. From the state, we have Senator Vince Leach, who joins us here. And I also know Representative Mark Fincham was planning to join us, and I don't know, maybe he's stuck in the long line that's out there, whether it's the donut wheel, I'm not sure which one. We have from the Marana Town Council, of course, we have Mayor Ed Honey over here. We have Vice Mayor Post. There he is, out there in the sun. And council members Patty Comerford, Council Member Dave Bowen, Council Member John Officer. There he is. With us, we have the Executive Director of the Pima Association of Governments, Farhad Mohimi, and Mr. Paul Loomis happened to be the former Oro Valley mayor, but also the original RTA board member, the one that established the RTA program and is responsible for all these great projects we have in the region. So this morning we're going to hear from representatives of 4 organizations, all our partners who were involved in either some aspect of one of these several projects that make up the INA project. These are representatives, as you will see them follow me. From ADOT, the district engineer is Mr. Rod Lane, followed by the RTA chair for this year is Mr. Mike Hammond. The CEO and the president of the Marana Chamber of Commerce is Audra Winters. And to cap it off, we'll have Mayor Ed Honey from the Town of Marana. What many people do not realize that this construction project, as you see it here today, is actually 3 projects coordinated together to improve safety, capacity, and the aesthetics of this corridor in this part of town. The first project, Project 1, I call the beautiful interchange on itself. It began with the 2005 RTA original ballot initiative that provided funding, $34 million in funding, and was slated to be in the second period of the RTA's 20-year program, so in the period between years 6 and 10. The environmental planning started way back in the year 2010. The project runs from Camino de la Capaz up to Star Commerce. That's primarily the interchange and the main bridge that goes over the railroad tracks and over the freeway. The capacity of this interchange and the great separation is something that we've all been waiting for a very long time, because we know what happens when the railroad comes along, and then we've got to stop for them because they are the bosses here. They came before us. They came before everybody else. The second project, expanding Ina Road further to the west from a 2-lane to a 4-lane from Star Commerce all the way up to Silver Bell Road, all within the town of Marana. And with some funding from the town, we had our transportation funds, and it was assisted with funding from the Pima Association of Governments, which was federal funding. So because there was federal funding involved in it, we needed a federally certified partner to construct that project, and we thank ADOT for seamlessly incorporating our project into their interchange project and made it one seamless, uniform project, all done at the same time. Now, a little bit about that bridge over the Santa Cruz River, the one that was affected in the 1983 floods. For those of you who were here back then, you know about that. And well, there were several bridges that were affected, but this is one of those bridges that we had to shut down almost every monsoon season for either a couple days or so, because we never thought it was really as safe since that 1983 flood. Well, we've resolved that. Not only that, we have new bridges, and there are 2 bridges, 4 lanes wide, so that's an incredible achievement right there with this project. The third project is the one where we are right now. This Aina Road, we call it the Beautification Project, totally funded only by the Town of Marana. The project includes the rehabilitation of the paving surface. We've got additional landscaping that you never had before. We've introduced new lighting, filling in the gaps with the sidewalks so it's more ADA accessible. It's a complete street now. The aesthetics and the landscaping won't be apparent for a little while longer because it takes a while and the summer's coming up right now. But talk about street lights, which will make it more vibrant and safer for not only the pedestrians but the motorists as well. I want to give a shout out to two companies that were involved with the town. It was Dibble Engineering, who did the design of this phase and the beautification part of this project, and Southern Arizona Paving for being the contractor serving this project. One of the worst but warranted critiques of government is we always have some road torn up. This is why we timed our Aina Road project, this beautification project, to coincide with the ADOT freeway interchange project at the same time. We promised to stay away from Aina Road for a long time. And in total, this is an investment of $130 million in this sector of Marana, all three projects combined. Now, in terms of economic development, we have started seeing a resurgence of development activities already happening in this corridor, and to date, there's nearly 40 or 43 permits that we've issued, some for new buildings and some for remodeling of old buildings with new tenants, that has a value of exceeding $5 million, and that's happened, and Aina Road is barely coming back. So expect a whole lot more to happen in this area. I want to thank Mr. Rod Lane, who will be following me very soon right now, as his team at ADOT on the Aina Road Bridge project as well, who welcomed our staff and made us join into a seamless team of joining Somas as the design engineering firm and the contractor Kiewit Sant. We never felt like we were left out. We assigned it to the larger organization with a lot more experience than we do, and it turned out to be an excellent partnership. I'd like to thank the RTA Main Street program and the Marana Chamber of Commerce for their business assistance and their energy, and you'll be hearing about their involvement in this project following in a few minutes as well. The town's communications division, the group that was involved in advertising and the social media that was done, if you hadn't noticed, and I don't know who wouldn't have, we put up as many signs as we could to make sure that everybody understood. The interchange was closed, but Aina Road was open for business all the time. And thanks to Marana's technology department, they came up with a very creative solution. It's a smartphone app, and we called it Project Aina. And those who subscribed to that program, not for a fee, but if they participated in it, their businesses and their business patrons would all have access to any kind of information they'd need in order to get to this area while this place was under construction. So tremendous difference in making sure that by using new technology, we got the patrons back to Aina during the construction season. A special thanks to some of our other departments, capital improvements program within engineering and the public works teams who oversaw this project, including construction inspectors who are Greg Sandlick and Butch Jacobs. We had several traffic signal technicians involved, John Swanson, Mike Washburn, Rich Jacinto, and project manager was Mac Murray, and that's quite an undertaking for a project of this magnitude, so kudos to all of them. But Finally, the one person who has been involved with this project since the RTA ballot initiative in 2005. Mr. Keith Brand, who's our town engineer, he represented the town's interest in planning, programming, design, value engineering, building partnerships with ADOT, with the PAG RTA, and the general oversight of this project. So thank you to all these teams who know what it takes to build one of the most expansive and probably the most expensive project as well in this region. A job well done. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Rod Lane. He's the South Central Area's District Engineer for ADOT.
Thank you. I'm going to be a lot briefer, a lot shorter here. Good morning, and thanks for being here to help us celebrate, take a moment to celebrate the completion of this great project. I'd like to start by thanking the residents and the businesses and the residences and the businesses in the community. Thank them for their patience and perseverance as the work progressed. You lived and breathed through the trials and tribulations of this growth on a daily basis, and for that, thank you. We're very near the completion of this. We'll be done in just a few more weeks, and hopefully your perseverance has paid off. A project this size takes many people and groups to be successful. The Town of Marana, whose vision and leadership from the beginning of this project helped it become where it is. Specifically, Mayor Ed Honey, Jamshi, who just was speaking, and of course Gilbert Davidson, who has moved up in our leadership in the state of Arizona, Keith Brand, and Morris Reyna. There's Morris over there. Our fantastic design team, led by Kevin Thornton of Somas, and their subcontractors from Kimley Horn, Premier, Point Engineering, Gannett Fleming, and Wheat Sharf. Our great contractor and contracting subs, led by Steve Schmidt from Sunt Kiewit, and the primary subs, Pace doing all the electric work, Combs doing the paving work, RGG doing a lot of the flat work and concrete work. Finally, I'd like to thank the Federal Highway Administration and the Pima Association of Government for providing the needed funding, direction, and support to help make this successful. This is only a small representation of the hundreds of people that have contributed to the success of making the Ida Road project what it is. So to them and all the rest, ADOT says thank you for your contribution in helping to move Arizona forward. Thank you.
Sorry, we just got to keep it up.
Okay, what does that say about me? Huh?
You're a live wire.
Well, I think we oversold the event a little bit when I look at the cakes that we're going to be cutting up here. It's going to have to be very small pieces for everybody. I want to thank everybody for taking time on a Saturday morning to celebrate the opening of this magnificent new interchange. It's been a long time coming. I'm here as the chair of the Regional Transportation Authority, and I also serve as vice chair of the Arizona Department of Transportation. Completion of this project is important in many ways. First, it significantly delivers on the promise the voters made to the voters 15 years ago when the half-cent sales tax was passed. That promise was to address current and future mobility needs. This project in particular helps meet those long-range objectives, not only for ADOT, the Town of Marana, the Pima Association of Governments, but also, more importantly, for Southern Arizona. It significantly reduces congestion and improves capacity, which is clearly noticeable today. There's a lower stress on this road for those that have been driving it for 2 years, and it's palpable. The interchange functions better, and it helps make it safer for all users, not the least of which are the businesses and customers who visit those businesses. Second, and this project is significant in that it represents partnerships. The partnerships on this project include, as you've heard previously, the RTA, ADOT, the Federal Highway Administration, the Town of Marana, and the Pima Association of Governments. In today's political environment, collaborative partnerships are so important, and we are pleased with the great partners we've had, not only on this project, but on all the RTA-funded projects. Third, this project is as much about this area's economic future as it is our overall transportation future. Now that traffic can flow more easily and congestion is reduced, I truly believe that all of the businesses will see a significant increase in their customer flow over pre-construction levels. It just feels more relaxed, don't you think? The interchange is set to breathe new life into this key commerce corridor. Of special impact is the removal of the train from the transportation equation. Speaking of commerce corridors, I'd like to especially recognize and thank members of our RTA Main Street program, which was mentioned earlier. Their efforts in working with the Ina Road business community before and during construction was impressive. Their efforts greatly helped them weather the challenges that a project of this scale regrettably causes. This program was established as part of the RTA plan and offers free consulting services from experienced professionals. These experts help guide them through the construction period. Local businesses are the backbone of our community, and we want to see them not only survive, but thrive. So again, special thanks to the RTA Main Street folks. Do we have anyone here? Okay. Finally, I'd like to take a step back and remind us of how we got here. As you know, this project is part of the 20-year Regional Transportation Plan approved by the voters in May of 2006. The truth is that without this half-cent sales tax, there would have been almost no road construction within Pima County over the last 13 years. Think about that. A period of time we've welcomed 50,000 new residents to our community that came here one family at a time. We need to plan. Since 2006, more than 840 projects have been completed, not the least of which is 180 bus pullouts. Near and dear to me as I drive Speedway, Grant, Broadway, Wilmot, Craycroft, I mean, you name it. We've had many financial partners in this, but the vast majority of funding has come from this tax. However, the revenue stream, as was said earlier, is set to expire in mid-2026, which means it's time for us to start asking ourselves, what will the next 20 years look like, and what plan will we need to address whatever we agree on? The RTA board has formed a 35-member Citizens Advisory Committee. This committee has already been meeting over the past year to discuss our region's transportation priorities and to develop guiding principles, not develop the plan, to develop guiding principles they will use when developing the new plan. This summer, we will distribute a public survey to seek your input on these draft priorities and guiding principles. If we can come to consensus, we will ask the voters to approve a new plan, an extension of that revenue stream. It's going to be very controversial whether there's road maintenance in there, whether there's safety in there, whether there's new types of transportation in there, whether there's expansion in there. What is important is that we agree. To pass a plan on this scale, if you recall the original tax, it took everybody, all the municipalities on board with that plan. And that's what's going to be important, is that we reach a consensus. And even then, as we know, it's a tough lift in this community to raise money for anything via a tax. But we will be coming back to the voters. This sounds like something I've heard before. Visit our website at rtamobility.com and follow us on social media links. Okay. In closing, thank you so much for coming out this morning to celebrate this regional success. Our goal is to continue to deliver on the promise the RTA has made to you, the voter, to deliver a safer, more functional, less stressful transportation system. I think the project we're celebrating today certainly meets those objectives. Thank you.
Good morning, Marana. How's everyone doing this morning? Thank you so much for coming out. I'm Audra Winters, and I'm the president and the CEO of the Marana Chamber of Commerce. The mission of the Marana Chamber of Commerce is to be the voice for the business community. So back when this whole project got started, We knew as the chamber we had to come together with the town and with all the other players, Main Street, and make sure that our businesses were taken care of. And that's what this celebration is today, right? We're gonna have a fun day, right? Yay, we're gonna get celebrating. So anyway, I just really want to be up here today to recognize the businesses. I know there's many on Ina Road. When I just moved here, and anytime I was looking for a service or anything, and they're like, oh, it's on Ina Road. Oh, it's on Ina Road. So I got very used to construction, and I'll be missing it because I I won't know how to get around Ina Road now. So thank you to the businesses that were out here. This celebration all started because of the businesses coming together. And this is not going to stop. The businesses are still going to be working together because once the tents come down, we want you to still come out and support the businesses. We have a lot of fun activities going on today. Come by the chamber booth. We have a sweepstakes happening. So you can go and visit different businesses, put an entry in there, learn about what the business does. Maybe it's not a service that you don't even want to use, but go visit that business, learn about them, because you might tell a friend. Say, hey, I know where you can go. And then continue to come back. Just because we opened and having the celebration today doesn't mean that you can't come back, you know, in July or August. So those businesses are going to be there. How many business owners do we have that are on Ina Road? Everyone start cheering. So there's lots and lots of you out there. How many have thought, oh, maybe I'm going to have a business on Ina Road. This looks like a great road. Right? Who wants to have a business on Ina Road? Right? Lots of great businesses. That there's spaces open now, and if there's not, we'll build it, right? The town? We'll build it. That person's not here today, so they just got a new job. So anyway, again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you to Lowe's for putting this together. Thank you for Brian over at Catalina Brewery. We hosted many block parties over at Catalina Brewery to get people out here to Ina Road. There was business walks that happened, and it wouldn't have happened without the businesses coming together, whether they were in competition with each other or didn't know anything about each other. It was about bringing businesses together. So please stop by. Remember to always shop local, shop Marana. Yes. Be good to each other today, and thank you so much. I now have the honor to bring up Mr. Ed Honey, our mayor.
Wow. What a great crowd. What a beautiful day. You know, the RTA is probably the greatest multi-jurisdictional institution ever established in Pima County. I really firmly believe that. It has been tremendously important to Marana. Twin Peaks Interchange, Twin Peaks Road, Tangerine Road from our friends in Oro Valley down to Dove Mountain. This beautiful Ina Interchange. So many great things happening. Talking to people out here in the crowd, folks from Chicken Nuevo. Do you see the chickens running around? You know, they talked about it was really tough for the last couple of years, but they stuck with us. I ask everybody, go see that business owner. Go shop there. Go help them. The only business owner that did, well, two. Javier Avalos with his car crash place and the donut wheel. I can tell you every construction worker, every Town of Marana employee, if I came into the urban area for a meeting, I went to Chicken Nuevo, even if I got donuts just to take them to the town or to Donut Wheel. So, I mean, some of them did really well. When John Sheed was talking to me about if I wanted to talk first or last, he says, you always have that useless old information that you can share with us. I want to tell you, you know, Ina Road is actually Ina Road. The large landowner, farmer, rancher that owned this property named Ina Road after his daughter. And that's where that roadway, you know where Orange Grove comes from, or Tangerine, because of the citrus orchards. But Ina Road was named after his daughter, and I didn't have time to go back and dig out all the pertinent information, but that's where this roadway came from. I'm old enough to remember, and if you look behind some of these businesses here, there's concrete irrigation ditches. Cortero Road had Shamrock Dairy. Ina Road had cotton farms. Continental Ranch was pepper tree farms, cotton farms, and grain fields, and so many things happening. We have evolved, and I think we have evolved in a positive manner. I love farming and I love open space, but I also love people and businesses and opportunities and amenities for our citizens. Some of the things that are going to happen on Ina Road that I'm really excited about. First of all, everybody that stuck with us here on the east side, please shop there. But those people had faith in us, and they tightened their belt, and they worked with us and with the chamber and with everybody else, trying to protect them and keep them open. Another thing I'm really excited about is West Ina. There is so much opportunity there with that 4-lane divided all-weather, 2 bridges, all the way to Silver Bell Road, which is also 4-lane all-weather in the town of Marana going west. And I look for that to be another huge opportunity for business and industry and hotels, job opportunities, and a little bit of tax base so some of us can do some of the things we want to do. But you know, we are really thrilled for everybody being here today. As Mike Hammond said, the RTA is really important. We're going to be sending information out to you guys about projects that we want to do from 2026 on. I may be in the old folks home up there on Silver Bell Road, but I'm going to be watching to see what's going on. But we're really happy to be here today. Thank you so very much for coming and sharing this wonderful opportunity. I believe Ina Road will become the #1 east-west traffic corridor in the entire urban area. It will go from Oracle Road, Arizona 77, all the way to Silver Bell Road at the base of the Tucson Mountains, 4-lane, all-weather, divided roadway. I think it'll become the #1 roadway in our community. Thank you very much for coming. Mr. Mehta has a few closing words. Then we're going to cut the cake and have a good time here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few words of appreciation to Lowe's, who allowed us to use this spot, their parking lot. It's been awesome, and they've been very, very gracious and helpful with us. To the Copper Cookie Company, because that's where the cake comes from. To Starbucks for those who enjoyed their coffee this morning. And to the Bisbee Breakfast Club, who provided us with water and lemonade on this warm day. So with that, Mayor and the dignitaries, please, let's join and have some cake, and cut small pieces, please.